All right, you guys, we got another live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get with this live. America is doomed. Every nation has a term. You know, there was a term with the people in Noah. There was a term with the people a lot. And so shall it be with the son, a man. You know, America is facing a sentence. And the sentence is pretty much a death sentence. Because it's in their nature where they can't carve you out a future. So you see, we're all wrapped up in the people he came to destroy. Most of us rather want to integrate with our enemies. You are in love with this enemy. So if God sends down his judgment on the enemy, you say, no, God, I just ain't ready to go with you unless I bring white folks with me. Yes, this is you and your silliness. That all white people are supposed to be this good. There's a few may practice goodness. But you see, the matriarch are going down and are taking a fighting chance of it to deceive you and I. So, Abraham went to the angels. And Abraham said, will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? He said, well, go see, can you find 50? You find 50. You know, I will not spare the city. Abraham couldn't find 50. He said, well, go see, can you find 40? He said, well, go see, can you find 30? He said, go see, can you find one outside of Lot's and his family? If you can bring me one. See, God delays judgment so that the people that we see that he has judged are not worthy of what they about to get. Now, I've been saying America's facing a judgment, an ancient Babylon. So in Jeremiah 50:24, it says, if you like to be caught in her snares as he set the snare, ancient Babylon. Now America is in that same snare. Now, America's facing a doomsday. And we keep it real because every nation has a term. So when its term comes, they cannot remain behind the lease. Why? Nor can they decide. The Holy Quran, Surah 7:34. And there was a term for the people of Noah, Locks, Moses. This also holds truth in the life or death of individuals. See, all is under the control of Almighty Allah, especially when the divine beginning, the ending had been appointed for the accomplishments, the same work that must be done by the life of people. The above chapter is the verses of the Holy Quran is a warning to a present nation whose term is now coming to an end. If we know what is said to us, or what is written by the prophet for us to read, study, and ponder over, and if we understand, we should not fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. The trouble with this black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth, for he was aware by the slave foster parents, who is his enemy, the white race, to cause them to become heedless. It was the intention, an enemy, to make the black man an enemy to the truth as he himself was and is. This, the enemy was successful in doing. See, for the black man in America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb. In many instances, as dead. This is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not an enemy to do good to us and restore us to life mentally. See, the children of the father slave masters took our life mentally, are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since 100 years have elapsed from the time of the slave fathers, children are wiser, educated, more method to keep this black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. And in the days of servitude slavery of our grandparents, the white slave masters did not even give them good food. Today, you can buy good food if you have money. But you see, however, much of it is poisoned by chemical use. The food you buy in the grocery stores, a lot of that is poison that's causing cancer, heart failures, liver disease, type 2, diabetes, and you could just go on. This is why it's so important you eat one meal and not to be a glutton, not to eat food just because you see it. Some of this food ain't what you think. See, when you got the FDA lying to you and can't tell you what they put in this food, half of this food is not even real. This is why Paul says, if I eat meat to cause my brother to stumble, I won't even eat meat. Most of you go into the meat market and these grocery stores. Some of these meats that they put in the back have an expiration date. So when they bring it back and ring it back up, all they do is put a tag on it. You know, all this stuff causes toxic bacteria, pesticides. It's in the food. It's in your fruits. It's in your vegetables. This is why it's so important that you use black seed oil, organic oils, pumpkin seed oil to get this pesticide out of you. Now let's go on. You see how much of it is poisoned by chemical use. See, the slave master will offer a piece of fried chicken and biscuit with a little butter on it for his so-called as an introduction for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all of the other slaves on Sunday morning. The slave did not have the theology of the scriptures, and he made his other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. Same goal for the preachers of today. As you can see, they preach for a reward for both whites and blacks. I have tried them for many years. They are as their fathers were. Desire to follow this white man. They want him to give them better positions. They will offer to cut off their heads of their black brothers if it would please the master. See, I say this, pretty soon Satan gonna give you his kingdom. He'll give you all this if you bow down. Most people, they're ready to sell their souls for fame and fortune. And the sad thing is, Satan, he's willing to give you all his kingdom if you just bow down and do his bidding. See, we must not worship Satan, because Satan places behind us and not in front of us. And see, even Satan will use his tactics. And see, this is why God used a powerful illusion, because of the deception. When God used a powerful illusion, is to blind you away from what's passing. See, it was a veil put on the people in 2 Corinthians 4:4, so that they couldn't see the glory that was passing. The veil will put on them because the people is so hard-hearted. See, your heart is hard as stone. Jesus says, your heart are far from me. So you worship me in vain. So in Romans, you see God gave them over to their debated minds. And their sexual relation, you see man with man. See, Hollywood, something needs to be straightened out. Because you see, Hollywood's a big thing of this homosexuality. God against that. He's against gays and lesbians, you see. He's against that. Yeah, all this we see on the screen, all this is a stage. You know, this is a stage that they put this consent. You know, the world is tuned in and see America for what she is. So let's go on. The same, you see, it even goes for your church leaders, the preachers of today. As you can see, they preach for a reward for both whites and blacks. I have tried them for many years. See, they are as their fathers were. Desire to follow this white man, and they will do anything, even if it takes to offer to cut off the heads of their black brothers if it will please their master. Now, you know, this is wicked. See, although I live in their neighborhoods with white neighbors, see, I can do so for this purpose of proving that I can live in their neighborhood just as cleanly and noisily as they do. See, white people do not like you to come to their neighborhoods, jumping on them and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when he is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you coming to the block, being your wife and girlfriends and drinking in front of the house. No decent, intelligent person likes this. where he is white as snow or black as the ace of spades. You can go to the jungle and you not want this. Late at night, he and a gang of monkeys will come out and beat you up. The American so-called Negro had been made out of himself and kind by white Americans. He must now be reformed. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and Holy Quran teach us that he will come to establish us a land, that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant action because he had become a part of ignorancy. Now the end of the term which was set forth, but this white man have come. The average so-called Negro, the lost found members of the black nation, does not know that it's the end of the world, of the white man, his rule over the black nations. He will not listen to one of his kind who tell or teach him of the time and doom of the world that we have known, white man's world. They offer high positions, money to the so-called Negro, intellectual, politicians who will work against the good of the black American people. They will accept such, for they have been deceived of love for self and kind. What do they care about the millions who are so swallowed in the mud of civilizations? They are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and the fried chicken as their slave fathers did. You will not think that they will hire themselves out to be stool pigeons, white man bootlickers, Uncle Toms, in these modern times of advanced education, but they're just doing just that. They do not want the praise of God for their own black people. See, they want it from their slave master children. Slave master children would give it to them as long as they reject themselves and kind and worship white people. Satan will give you all this if you bow down. He'll give you all the riches and fortune that you go after. Satan won't be able to give you his kingdom pretty soon. So how hard it is for a camel to enter in the eyes of an eagle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. Because he's willing to give you all this. Satan is going to give you his kingdom pretty soon. See, the white man is very clever in making public fools of this black man to show this brown, yellow, and red man what a good job they have done on the black man America and throughout the earth. He's doing what nature bid him to do. See, this is their nature. They can't carve out you a future plan. They don't have a plan for you. But their plan is destruction. That he's willing to take the followers into this fall of America. America can't win the war. A lot of people be telling me that America, she got this, they got all these artilleries, they got everything to go to war. But the thing of it is, the truth of the matter, they don't have enough draft. They don't have enough militants to even try to, make this thing a war. At the end of the day, we all know it's a stage. That's all it is, a stage. America is trying to buff herself for comeback when she knows she can't go to war. See, this is not like the 18, 11, 12 World War One and Two. She won't be able to win the war because of her divine intervention was set to destroy her. Now I say this to say this, America got to do good. She have to do good by us. Now, I don't blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. See, it's the nature of the white man to make fools of our people. But it's not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. When you have been given that knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God created you, still allow this enemy to make a fool of you. You do not have this sympathy of God and the righteous at the knowledge. The divine term that was given to this right race to allow them to make fools of this black man and rule him with tricks. Now, devil with his trick analogy must be removed.